Hey y'all, welcome to the 2015 Christmas tag series here at Race and Crafts. This is tag number 4. And I am going to use and I actually found the packaging for them, the waffle flower dies. And since I bought both, they kind of just taped them together, which I think is awesome, and then I don't have to worry about losing them, except for some reason I never quite get them back in their package. So I'm going to take just a minute before we start here to go over this set, because it's a great set and I love it. If you haven't noticed, I've used it a lot, even without the add-on set, which is primarily why I bought it. Between that and I loved this outer shape here. Okay, so they are not together. You can purchase them separately, which I did, but I purchased them at the same time. And this is the tag starter kit, which is this guy right here. And I used this tag right here for, I think, day 3. Yes, for day 3. This is the shape I used. That is... Oops, if I can pull it out of my little stockpile here. That is this shape right here. Okay? And then there's this shape right here, which is the one I've been using, which is this one here, and I'm going to use that today. And this guy punches the holes for this big tag here. But it punches a very small hole, and you have to do each layer individually. So I just use my Crop-A-Dile. It's easier for me. And then there's this piece, which is like a tag reinforcement piece or something like that. I've used it a couple times, but I run it through once, and then I like cut it in half and run it through a separate time and just get the circles. It's not how it's meant to be used, but that's how I've been using it, because it works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and actually slide that in there now. And then there's this piece right here. Oops, sorry, I'm blinging over here. There's this piece right here, this set, if I can pick this little die up here. And this is the Santa tag, which is what we're going to be using today. And I do need to do this one. So I'm going to set this aside. But I'm not going to do it yet. I've already cut most of the pieces, and I'm making 2 tags, so I have 2 pieces of red paper here, which is that big tag, and then I have 2 pieces of leftover card or white for the back. I have 1 piece here that I cut using this border here, and this is going to be Santa's beard. And I will show you how I got that in a minute, which is what this piece is for. And then I have 2 of these, which are the belts and the buckles. And I'm going to work with these first, so they will have a little chance to dry. And sorry about that. I know that's kind of annoying for some people. Wow, I'm popular tonight. Okay, I'm going to grab this little scratch paper here and do it like this. I know... You know what? Let me grab a black piece of cardstock. That way you guys can see to start with what I'm doing. There we go. I don't know what it was, but... Okay, there we go. So I'm going to grab my pieces here. And I'm using a gold Wink of Stella. And I'm just going to color my buckle piece here, and I need a little something to help me hold it. Okay, that's one way you can do it. Sorry for the background noise. Okay, and then there's a separate way to do it, and I kind of like this way better. And this way involves taking a yellow marker and just covering it, covering the white, just like that. You could just use yellow paper. You could, if you had gold shimmer paper, you could just cut it from that. But I use white scraps because it helps control my scrap population. And I don't usually have specialty paper like that around. It's not something I would use a lot, so. And then you would just cover that with the Wicked Stella. And you do get two different looks, so whichever one you like. This one is a little more yellowy gold than this one. Okay, and then while those are drying, I'm just going to grab my black Spectrum Noir marker and bring my belt piece in, and literally just going to cover that. Once again, you could just use black paper, but I use white scraps. There we go. Okay. And I also just go over the edges just like I would if I fussy cut a stamped image out with the black. Okay, now I'm going to set these aside for now. And I'm going to show you how to get the beard. And to do that, I'm taking this scrap piece of white here, and I'm just going to decide how big I want the beard. And it's completely up to you. You can have a small beard, you can have a large beard. It does not matter. And I'm going to go with a fairly small-ish beard. And I'm not sure how much of my Big Shot. Okay, you might be able to see what I'm doing here, minus the rolling part, the roller part. And I'm just going to set that in there and put my Do Not Cut plate on top and just send it through. Easy peasy, just like that. And you slide that off. And I'm going to push this out of the way. And pull my beard off. Now, you can get, if you would like, 2 beards off of one white piece. But I knew I was going to have to use 2, so I went ahead and cut the belt and the 2 buckles out of my other white piece. Now, there is a button too that comes on there, but I'm not going to be using that today. So, I'm going to go ahead, oops, I'm moving all kinds of stuff here. And first of all, I need to mute my phone. And I'm going to grab my white pieces and my stamp guy. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the back of my card, of my tag card. Wow. Whew. I am just dying to make cards, I guess. And I'm using the, I'm not using the Waffle Flower set today. I am using the Close to My Heart Share the Magic stamp set. And I'm going to come down a little bit. And I'm using some Versacolor Rose Red ink. I was going to use green. You know what? So I'm going to switch and do the From in green. There we go. And you don't have to use up that much room. I mean, you could stamp other things there as well. I just didn't intend to. I don't tend to make my tags too terribly fancy because they do just get thrown away. They, you know, they fulfill a purpose for me, and that's kind of it. They're not a keepsake necessarily in my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside. And we're going to pull in these pieces. And I'm going to start by putting my beard on. And you can see I was off just a little bit and lining my dye up here, and I've got just a little hook there. So I'm just going to take a little piece of my little scissors and just kind of snip that piece off and smooth it out. And you can see I've got 2 different size beards there, and that's perfectly cool. It is not a big deal. And I'm going to take my art glitter glue. You could use wet, dry, it doesn't matter. I just think the wet is easier. And I'm going to turn it sideways because for some reason I have better luck lining things up that way. I'm not quite sure why. So there's that guy. And okay. There we go. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and flip these over and put my backs on. Just like so. Another thing I like about using the wet adhesive for this is I get a little more time to kind of wiggle things around. Whereas if I was using dry, it would really kind of limit my adjustability. Okay, and then I'm going to pick that up. Kind of wiggle it a little bit. I think we're pretty good, actually. Okay, so now I'm going to pull in. Well, where did my other belt go? Okay. Where did I lose it at? Alright. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so apparently one of my belts decided to go MIA. So I've got this little piece of black cardstock right here on my desk. And I'm just going to quickly grab my Big Shot and die cut this. Sorry about that. Did not intend on having to do that, and I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. Wow. I'm just hitting the trifecta tonight. Okay, so now we have our 2 pieces, and there is going to be, you know, a difference between them. So it's just kind of a pick your poison type deal here. Okay, so you're going to take your belt, and you're going to take your little buckle, and you're going to slide it through. And you can pick where you want it, and you're going to just put a little glue and you're going to glue the front part of the buckle because it's going to slip through onto the back. Oops. There we go. And it's going to look just like that. And I'm going to grab my other one. And I'm going to go ahead and dab a little glue on the front piece and slip it through. And I would advise you to use wet glue here and use something that's going to dry clear, because there is no way to get this guy down without getting glue on the front. There's just not. And if there is, I haven't figured it out yet. And I've been playing with this set for a month at least.
He was asking his big brother why they were trying to get Samson in a stand.
Okay, and I do have one spot I need to fix. And I'm going to go ahead and glue. Oops. I'm using the back of my belt instead of the front. Oh well. And we'll just glue our belt down here. Now, if you're using the button, you will adjust for the button. Or like I said, I don't use the button. I've used it once. And it's cute, but I don't know. I just have a problem making it look right. And you can, you know, you can put the belt wherever you so choose. See, now here I would have room for a button, and here I don't. So now we're going to just grab our Crop-A-Dile, and I'm going to use the smallest setting. And I'm just going to kind of line it up in the center at the top, and I'm going to poke my holes. And I have some of this metallic tag string stuff. It came in some kind of kit I bought. So, I don't know where exactly it came from. But I'm just going to make the little circle and feed it through. And pull it through, and we'll do it again onto this tag. And there are our 2 Santa tags. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all next time.